So very good evening.
One second,
You can
Lucia.
please turn off the music. Okay. Yeah. So very good evening to everyone. I welcome you all. My name is Saurabh Karwani, one of the career advisor at ProTouch Professional Training. So before we start, let me give you the quick overview about us. ProTouch is the certification institute which provides upskilling courses to the professionals like HR journalist, HR analytics, POS trainer to deliver POS trainings, business analytics manager certifications, corporate trainer and facilitator trainer, certified practitioner course certification, emotional intelligence trainer and course certification, and OD and change management. We also provide customized programs. All the programs are accredited by topmost bodies like ICF, that is International Coach Federation, then SHRM, that is Society for Human Resource Management, HRCI, that is Human Resource Certification Institute, and CPD, that is Continuing Professional Development. And I'm glad to see that many existing students, team members, and inspiring students of ProTouch who has already joined the learning session. So before we begin, I would like to know from the audience, how's the weather in your location? You can type in the chat boxes also. Is it okay? So Sondra is saying moderate. It is always perfect. Cloudy, okay. No rain. Great. Okay, so most of the places are, it is raining there. Great. Okay, okay. Humid. Perfect. Great. Okay. So we can move ahead. Now it's time to begin the learning session with Renu Ganotra, our guest speaker of today's evening. I would like to take a moment to introduce everyone with our today's guest speaker. Renu Gotra comes with 23 years of experience into human resource. She excels in driving strategic HR initiatives and fostering high performance cultures. Her career highlights include building HR functions from the ground up, leading HR for 300 plus employees, and enhancing employee retention and engagement. As a strategic thinker and trusted advisor, she is skilled in HR strategies, talent management, leadership development, and compliances. It is our honor to have Renu Ganotra with us today evening. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh, and thank you, Aparna, for providing this opportunity, for sharing a knowledge with a fantastic team here. I'm sure we will have, it's a two-way. I would have similar learning from each one of you while I share my experience or the snippets, I would say, because it's performance management in itself is a vast subject in itself, again, with many vast sub-subjects in that. So yeah, without wasting any time, I think let's get started. So Saurabh, would you help me to share the presentation?
Sure. Lucy, if you can please help her to share the same.
So while the presentation is coming on, getting to the display, as just sort of mentioned, how is the weather? I would say, yeah, I think if everybody is coming on the video, it would be really great to connect, to see your lovely, cute faces. So I feel that I'm interacting with people than only to myself. Great. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. So today's topic is about performance management and feedback. So as HR professionals, what does it rings any bells? I wanted to have a very interactive session. So it doesn't look like a one monologue. I'm only talking about it. I'm sure you can use chat, you can unmute, whatever mode of communication you would like to use, please feel free to use. So my first, just I wanted to talk about what do you have an expectation from this particular webinar? One word on the chat, please. When you have heard about performance management and feedback webinar, what's your expectation from this session? On the chat.
I will
Well,
be
let
very
me
much
start.
interested. Go
Let's,
ahead,
yeah,
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Renu. My name is Rahul. I would
Yeah.
be very keen to listen to your experiences while managing this piece on performance management and feedback.
Yeah. Okay. I can see how to build a PMS framework, improve the system. Yeah. To be a better HR. Yeah. How is the role of a HR in this system? To learn about how performance management works and benefits employees. Yeah. How do we evaluate, which cannot be directly measured? Oh, great. So performance of the organization, touching some points there. Yeah, sure. Let's see in this 1 hour how much we can cover. I'm sure it would take many more sessions for Aparna to organize module itself. So in this, we will just see how I can add value more coming from the experience, though the snippets of performance management and the definitions, framework would remain more or less same. But then let's get back to the presentation. Thank you, team. End-to-end process and types and outcome. Yes. So moving to the next slide here. So today's next, yeah, the agenda in this I would like to cover is like, yeah, fundamentals of performance management cycle, goals and objectives, feedback, one of the module I would like to share, and what is the role as HR professional in the performance management overall process in itself. And then any questions you might have, we can take it towards the end. Yeah. So let's understand what is performance management. Next, one clip. Yeah. Hold. So what is performance man? Actually, I wanted the second one to come later, but then anyways, yeah. Previous slide, please. What is performance management? Can I check with the team? What do you understand by performance management? Yeah. HR professionals, simple.
So, ma'am, delivering the KRAs and KPIs, whatever assigned to them, and performing, like meeting up targets, and setting whatever objective or goal are set by the management, they're fulfilling it. That is called performance management.
Yeah.
And how they get promotion on due to that, how they scale up due to that, and like this.
Yeah. Great points. Any others? Any other perspective? Any other points? What is performance management?
It's a method of measuring employee performance.
Yeah. Methods defined as what is how employee is performing against what? Yeah.
Expectations or goals.
Expectations of goals. Okay, let's get back to the slide and see what is the definition. So basically what it says. So can somebody read the first one? So I have three different definitions, but then different pointers there. So performance management, Shishmita, I can see you on the screen, so you're the first one. Can you read out the first definition there?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, please.
Performance management is the process of setting goals, providing feedback, and evaluating employees' performance in their role.
Yeah. So these have three parameters: setting goals, feedback, providing feedback, and evaluation process in itself against each of their roles. Then the second definition, anybody else? Or you can continue, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it includes regular check-ins, performance reviews, and in development of planning.
Yeah. So it includes regular check-ins. What regular check-ins means, what performance review means, and what is the development planning. We will just learn in the next slides. Then the third definition.
Performance management aims at improving employee performance, align individual goals to the organization goals, and promote employee engagement and development.
True. So, what is the aim of performance management? So, is it just that you are evaluating performance against set goals, or it has a bigger picture? So, what is the bigger picture? Bigger picture is why are we part of the organization? Why are we part of the organization? We to execute something, some action, some duties. Against what? Against organization goals. So what are the organization goals? Are we aligning our individual goals to the organization goals? And how we are engaging our employees towards that? How we are bringing best in the employees? That is what is the overall performance management process in itself aims at improving employee, making employee become better, utilizing their skills and capabilities to achieve the goal of the organization. So in this, you have win-win. Organization is able to get what they wanted, and employee is also able to grow in their own role and responsibility. So this is the small gist of performance management when it comes to the ground. Then going to the next slide. Saurabh, do you want me to share the presentation otherwise?
Yeah, Renu, that will be really better for us, if you can share it.
Yeah.
Will you be able to share from your end so that, you will have a better control over the presentation?
Yeah, can you make me the host, please?
No, you do not. We have given you the access to share the slides. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. So you can see the slides, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we are able to see it. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. So we just talk about what is the performance management in three different areas. These are all like combined different definition, I would say. Again, it is one different version of the definition of what performance management is. End of the day, it is what organization wants and how we are aligning individuals' goals towards the organization goals, and doing a regular check-in so that we know we are checking in whether we are in the right direction or not. That is what the overall performance management means. Why it is needed? I think when I'm presenting, I cannot see anybody, but then, yeah, please, from the audience, why performance management is needed?
You
Ma'am,
can
it-
stop sharing, and that's why then you will be able to see people also. You can stop sharing and again reshare.
Yeah, sure.
It is needed to know whether we are aligned with the organization's goals or not.
Yeah. Oh,
It also helps in appraisals.
yeah. What is okay?
Helps your employees. It motivates your employees, and in turn, you can retain your employees. That is the biggest challenge these days. So, performance management helps in that and also shows them a career path.
Yeah. So
It
career
improves
path, retention. What else? Just
Yeah,
career
we
path.
can also identify. Yeah, yeah. We can also identify the training needs like for their career path. So this is one of the thing like we can identify through the PMS.
True. So, yeah, while all the points are absolutely correct, and I'll just share my screen, what I have got here. I'm sorry, just switching.
Don't worry, I will help you, Renu. Okay, going on. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah. So why it is so very important? It creates a culture of engagement. When if you see, if there is no performance management system in place, do you see employee talking to the supervisor? No, they don't have a any kind of environment where they can discuss. So a formal performance management, when it is in place, you have a platform where employee and a supervisor comes for a discussion, and it creates a culture of engagement for the supervisor to get understand what are the employees goals, what are their growth plans, and it tracks the progress towards the goals. It provides, when it tracks the progress, you will identify what are the gaps, what guidance or support that they is needed by the employee, or they would want to do another role. Sometimes employee is going in one path, career path, and they would feel that they can contribute towards the much better career, or you can see a different department, different skill. So that all you can do only when you connect with the employee on this platform. And to evaluate whether those individual performance, is this employee, say if is somebody walking on a treadmill, running on a treadmill and trying to reach a destination of going to a vacation. That means, are you running on a treadmill without any destination? Or are you going in a direction where you have set the goals with the organization? Are your individual performance, is the individual performance aligned with the organization goal? Very important. When you keep checking the progress, you would know the productivity. You would know, okay, this is the gap. Probably I need some skills. I need some coaching. I need some support from my manager, from the organization. And then you enhances productivity. So your productivity becomes better, employee will be better engaged. And when you have these two in place, it increases employee satisfaction, as you rightly said, retention rate becomes better. And when you have a happy employee and increased productivity, what will happen? It will automatically increases organization performance. So overall organization performance also becomes better. So we always say that when the employee, a happy employee, organization with great revenue, a happy customer. So it's a cycle, right? You have a happy employee, happy customer, and finally, all in all, everybody is growing in their own uh, roles, right? So that's how a performance management becomes very important. So now, again, what is the cycle? It's a cyclic process, right? A performance management, is it a one-time activity? Is it a one-time activity?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's a cyclic activity. So you just come back and you review. So how it comes is, first it starts. What is the first step of any performance cycle? Is goal setting process. This is a very important step in the performance management. When you are setting goals, what kind of goals you're setting, how you're setting goals. As HR professionals here, I'm more addressing from my HR professionals, because HR plays a very important role, not just defining the framework, not just defining forms. It also helps how you are facilitating your business. So when you're setting the first objective, say you have recruited somebody from the outside and say an associate level. You have recruited, the person is new to the organization, just getting into the organization, got inducted into your policies and processes, and then now what? What should they do? Are you having a goal setting process in place? Are you defining what is their first 30 days plan, say 90 days, 60 days, 60 days, 90 days, and 1 year? What's the expectation? How would they know? So, goal setting process, goals are set by each roles. So, goal setting process is done for each of the roles, and they are aligned to what business needs are, and those comes from your. So I'm sure everybody, your HR professionals, you are aware. It starts from organization goals, and then they get into percolate downwards towards respective business unit goals. From business unit, it becomes to your own roles. So how you're setting goals for those? Are they smart? Again, I will get to the next slide, how the goal setting we can. I have one small worksheet which I can share with you. And then once the goals are set, we monitor. So how do you monitor? How do you measure them? You have an expectation from this particular role. There is a expectation that somebody has to do X amount of work within X time. And how you're measuring, how are you monitoring? You would be monitoring through regular check-ins. So are you ensuring your supervisors are doing regular performance reviews? So today we are moved from the traditional reviews of a half yearly, annually review to continuous performance reviews, because we believe the focus of performance management is on the behavior, how you can make an employee better equipped, improvised on their impact to the organization, have a specific skill, how they can become better person, individual towards that particular goal, and uh, move upward trend in terms of, if you look at the graph, how they are moving upwards. So that can happen only when you have continuous check-ins. When you do continuous check-ins, again, you have various models. We will be discussing about a situation behavior model, where how you particular situation, what is the impact, what is the change, we'll discuss in this section. Then how what is the important component of a feedback, coaching and mentoring? Through how would you ensure that this can be a continuous process? It would come through coaching, mentoring, and how you're collecting 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback, again, I'm using a snippets kind of thing here. I'm not going into the details. I'm sure each one of you are very professional in your own and well versed with these terminologies. So 360 feedback talks about self appraisal, manager appraisal, peer appraisal, customer feedback. So how we can collect the feedback, and again, the focus is not on the person, the focus is on the behavior. How we can make the person's behavior better. How do we do that? We acknowledge their accomplishment. We call it as ACT. ACT is an acronym for accomplishment, challenge, and task. So what are their accomplishments, right? When somebody gives us a positive news, we become very high, right? You feel good. Oh, thank you. You did a great job. That itself make you feel very good. So when on the ground, how many times supervisor acknowledges, appreciates the resource? So we capture their accomplishments, or you can call as achievements. Then what are the difficulties, what are the challenges that an individual is facing on the ground in executing their role? As a supervisor, it's responsibility of a supervisor where to ensure what challenges and how I can mitigate those challenges. What should I do? What support I give to a resource to help him perform better? And how these challenges I can break it into tasks, short-term goals. So you see an ice cream, right? A bucket of ice cream. How do we finish a bucket of ice cream? We cannot just eat it like that. We want to scoop it. So when a goal, big goal you have, how you would be coming to the task level, you need to scoop it. And daily, weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, quarterly check-ins, weekly check-ins, and then see where we have reached. And that would help in making a performance better or improve performance. So why all this we are doing? We are doing to employees doing to get some reward, and organization is doing to get some benefit from it by taking their services. So it ends with rewards and recognition to the employee, whether it is less or it is no promotion or growth, what growth you are. So all the discussion finally it ends with rewards and recognition, because this becomes a very important input for you to take into the next process of compensation. So what are you going to do about their ratings? What are you going to do about their compensation? How you're going to retain your top performers? So this is the backbone of any HR or any organization in itself, because only then you can see these decisions will help you in workforce planning. These decisions will help you in creating the culture of the organization, or where you need to focus. So actually, a lot of other stuff also comes here. But again, coming back to our content, this is how it's a cyclic process. Then once it is done, then you have a new goal setting process. So this is a cyclic in nature, and that's how the performance management and feedback works. Any questions here? Okay. So let's move to
So I have a question, Renu, here. I have a question. Let's go back. Okay, so we have goal setting, monitor or measure, 360, reward and recognition. So where does the appraisal falls in this entire cycle? Is it act you are considering as an appraisal where the evaluation will happen?
So the continuous check-in is the appraisal, where you are checking.
Continuous checking can be monthly reviews, quarterly reviews, that can be there, but when the yearly reviews will happen in this?
In this, yearly reviews doesn't happen. In this, the yearly, this is, so we are moving from a yearly review to a continuous review process. So an employee need not stay for 1 year to know what happened, say in January, what happened in January. They need not wait till December when we are saying.
Absolutely.
So they need to get instant feedback. So what is the focus? Focus is to improve the performance of the employee. So when we are, again, when we say appraisal, are we talking about performance appraisal? Are we talking about salary appraisal? So when we say performance appraisal, this entire process itself is a performance appraisal.
Right.
When we
However, let me tell you, Renu, like some of the clients and even in our company, when we work in HR, in my experience also, we have seen, certainly earlier we used to give them maybe the goals, that is a target, and achieve it. Can you please stop sharing so that we can interact with each other, right? So earlier what used to happen that we used to give them a targets, and then we used to just at the end of the year check how are you doing. But performance management system nowadays, now help us to facilitate the performance of the people by taking quarterly reviews, everything. And as you said that, okay, still reviews will be called reviews, because increments, most of the time you get it at the end of the year. These are the boosters which we use, that every time we give feedback, every time everything happens. So, most of the companies I've seen appraisals, reviews is another part. performance evaluation will keep on happening. Like, I can tell you right now, my team is also sitting here. We just done with reviews. Today also we had reviews, and tomorrow we have mid-year celebration. I'm all excited about it, where we are going to celebrate people's, what they have done for 6 months. However, it is still, we call it as a mid-year review, right? And we will be working on the salary parts and other part in the month of December, right? So there are, what I personally feel here, every company has a different way of working, right? Not necessarily. In fact, there are so many companies are going away from performance appraisals also now. They say, they are coming up with milestones. That is a one word they use. Why? Because they think that appraisals every month or something, it may cause stress. Like, I know Accenture has gone away with, they had every month appraisal, not performance management. Just imagine, every month you are getting rating is so stressful, but they have gone away. So what I would like to contribute here, that not all companies will work in a similar way. Of course, there will be salary increment, there will be performance reviews, and companies will have their own cycles. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Renu. I mean, I'm finding it very interesting what I liked about that particular acronym called. That's wonderful. So over to you, Aaron.
again, just to put little more insight, I'm sure everybody must be having doubt. What is the end product of this? I mean, okay, I'm working in the organization. End of the day, whether we like it or not, everybody is working for money, right? I mean, getting rewarded for what services I'm providing. So how is this reward getting converted? Is it monetary only? No, I would say there are multiple factors there. Again, the end product of your performance reviews. So again, uh, we have gone away with the ratings in our in my organization also. We have gone away with the ratings because the minute you say ratings, it is a nightmare for the manager, and for the employee it piles on, and they get into a depression, stress, fights, and all the energy is directed into unwanted channel. So we said, okay, what is the intent of the performance review, performance management? We want to improvise the behavior of the employee. That is what we want, because that is where we can grow the organization. So let us get away with the ratings and let us focus only on the behavior. I'll cover that in the next slide. So again, I'll come to the feedback there again. Here, the goals. So we have heard this many number of times, right, from our colleges, uh, and also on real time. Smart goals. How? What are smart goals? On the paper, it is very easy to say specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. But how do I help my manager to write down the goals? How do I actually take them through the process as HR? Because they would not know. They would say, okay, I want you to deliver um, this code within this time. If I'm giving a goal to a salesperson, I say sales tele salesperson, I want you to conduct 40 calls in a day. Is that a smart goal? These are real time examples. So we say, okay, 40 calls. So do you think if I just pick up the phone and do 40 calls, will that qualify? No. So we need to define a realistic or what is specific. So now I have a worksheet. So I've taken an example of a HR business partner, being a HR fraternity here. So let us say for a HR, we have given a goal that why don't you enhance the on. We saw as an organization there is lot of retention issue, employee satisfaction issue when we are onboarding people. So this is a goal of the HRBP, enhance the onboarding process to improve retention. So how did we arrive at this particular goal? First, define the specific goal. What of the goal? What needs to be accomplished? So we want onboarding process of a new hire. Why it is important? Because I wanted to increase the rate of retention so that I don't incur or cost again rehiring cost, right? So how can I retain? Who is involved in this? It is HR business partner along with the HR teams. Where will it takes place? It will be for every department, right? Of whom the onboarding is happening. And so these are some of the questions to answer when you're defining what needs to be accomplished to define specific of a goal. Then how is it measured? How will you know whether you did a job, good job, bad job, or you can improve? How? What metrics to be used to measure? So one is new hire retention rate. What is the percentage of retention of your new hire? What is the satisfaction score? Satisfaction score through your new hire onboarding survey. One conducts once within 3 months, and in that you can mention how they are feeling. What is the pulse survey to check on their environment, work environment, their manager. Do they have enough tools to perform their duty? Are they clear on their goals? Then and then what is actual metrics? How we are increasing the retention from what you can do to improve from 75 to 90%, and when within next 6 months. So how will I scoop it? I'll define first 1 month this 1 to 2 months this way. So is it relevant? So now the question still here, it is like how we are measuring. Is it achievable? Is it realistic? Yes. What steps need to be taken? How you are achieving the goals? Are you ensuring the goal is relevant to your business, to your role? And then some more which is time bound. So this is like little more milestone by month. This is a very detailed kind of a document, and this we can those questions we can use to develop any goals for anybody. Like when you probe the question, an open-ended question with the supervisor, with the hiring manager, and then understand, write it down, and help them to make a smart goal for their resources. So coming back to the presentation, any questions here? I just want to take a pause.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Garima.
Garima is having the question. Please, Garima, ask it.
Yeah, so this is something that I mentioned in the chat as well. I find it that sometimes for certain functions, while you can detail the SMART goals, it doesn't really assess their performance. For example, to just give you an example, if it is an accountant or say the compliance function of a particular organization, they're supposed to file reports on a particular date on a monthly, quarterly basis. So yes, it's specific, file X report on this by this time, and frequency is defined. This is the job that the person is supposed to do. This is the expected out of the person, right? There is no way that the person will not do, because it is a compliance. So if it's an RBI compliance, you will follow it, right? Now, how do I really convert this into a performance management framework for that person? Because I can't define what a 4 or a 5 rating means, because 3, the person's meeting expectations, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and just because they met all 100% of the deadlines does not mean the person exceeded expectations.
Okay.
So my challenge comes when, even though it's defined, it doesn't really make sense to put this as their KRA, because it doesn't really show a growth path, or what feedback do I give the person that, hey, you did 100% of the job, but yeah, your rating is 3 because you met expectations.
Okay. Great question, Garima. And then let me just explain a little more. It's not just one goal. You have multiple goals. So you have organization goals, you have individual role specific goals. So what role specific goals are, as you mentioned, filing reports. So filing reports on time with accuracy is meeting expectation, right? Proactively filing, ensuring if that particular job is done within, say it takes 1 week to complete that particular job. If a person is able to complete the job within 2-3 days and automating some systems there, ensuring the report just gets generated with some click of a button, is a exceeding goal. You're getting my point there? That means the person has gone beyond to ensure that the person can utilize the time better. Is the person is able to save time, cost, and the resource. That could be a exceeding goal. Meeting goal is filing reports on time with accuracy. Exceeding goal is, in some system, they have taken initiative, automated something, and saved the time, cost, and resource to the organization. That is exceeding. Is the exceeding being done in all areas of their goals, or they are doing only in one area? So that will become far exceeding is in all the areas they are perfectly doing their job and they are ready to move to the next role.
Right, right. No, that does make sense, and that gives me a different perspective. That if there is, like, are they saving cost, time, or effort if they are
Yeah.
meeting certain, right? And can these be predefined? Maybe not, right?
No, so again,
How much cost, how
it
much
can
time? We
be.
may not be able to predefine this, but
You
it's
cannot.
okay to do this post facto.
Yeah, so you can measure, saying how much of that automation has, say, in my experience, there was the person was taking almost um, 1 week to, same thing, 1 week to generate that particular report, and after introducing bot and automation, they have saved almost 40 hours of work. Even that 40 hours is saving to the organization.
Yes, most
So
definitely.
yeah, so it depends on how you have defined the role. Are you just focused only on their to-do list, or are we focused on the bigger picture? So the
Got
bigger
that. Thank you,
picture,
Renu.
yeah, thank you. That was a good one. I hope I answered.
Yes, definitely gave me a perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
Yeah, Renu.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, Renu, good session, first of all. Since you mentioned that you have gone through the experience of removing rating practice, and of course, you have also shared what you have replaced it with, but can you share some experience into how the level of acceptance was from employees and managers and how those moments were managed? If one or two examples, if you can share, it will help us understand the change process.
Yeah, so when we were as part of a change management with the organization, when we moved from a rating to this, first was enabling the managers. How do we enable the managers? By providing a lot of training, because
Right.
it was very difficult, because managers would say, if rating nahi hai, to how should I do? I mean,
Right.
what will I do? How will I do? Get into a bell curve. I don't need a bell curve, I said. I don't need a bell curve. Don't fit people into that bell curve. Let us not, let us focus. What is that intent? You want the person to improve, or do you want the person to just do the same routine job? Then that is the expectation. So we had that change management process, do's and don'ts, and how this would help. And actually, it is a help to the manager. They don't need to spend hours together to justify their ratings, because again, it is perception. Ratings are again perceptions of individuals, right? Based on many subjective and also constructive situations or outcomes of whatever they have done in the as part of their role expectation. Sometimes when you do a year-end process, people come back saying that I was not even aware that they are evaluating me against these responsibilities. So when we took those examples and when we started addressing their pain area, because that was their pain area, right? They wanted to focus. We want managers to focus on deliverables. We want a better place where we can extract more from the organization point of view, right? How they can add more value to the organization and guide. And we wanted managers to become coaches, not managers. They need to coach people how they can become better version of themselves every year. So what is that one skill they can add? So when we did, and same thing, we had employee sessions as well. In fact, employees appreciated. They welcome this change of no comparison, no rating, because the minute when many of you would have heard, when they are inside the room having a discussion, employee feels very good. The minute they come to know about the other person sitting next to them, they feel okay, their discussion didn't go well because they didn't had a better negotiation. Four chahiye tha mujhe, and then I got only three. So all those discussions are not leading anywhere. So we have to sell this with lot of addressing their pain areas. What is their pain areas and how we can help? No doubt, without rating, there is another challenge also, because when you're doing reviews, how are you going to decide on their compensation? That is a challenge when you don't have a rating. But then that is a discretionary power given to the supervisor. You tell what is the value addition this resource is bringing to you. And we have very clearly went with a thought that every individual is different. No two individuals are same. So their expectation from that particular role is also different. So though we say everybody is software engineer, for example, everybody is HRBP, two HRBP cannot be same. One can be expert in employee relation, the other can be expert in the process and handling leadership team. The communication may be better, or documentation may be better. So we have taken that example and did a lot of road shows in terms of coaching. Main is coaching and training managers, how they focus on the behavior but not on the individuals. But then still you will have some people who would not want to do it, but then they are forced to do it.
Wonderful insights you have given, very thought-provoking, Renu. And I would like to ask you one question here. There are two things which are coming to my mind. Yes, people should not feel bad. People should not have rating. That is one thing. But then how do you distinguish between a performer, average performer, or maybe the non-performer? How do you distinguish? How do you make the difference in them?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, one thing is very important, that you need to take care of your performers.
Correct. So when we are deciding on the rating, on what basis we are deciding on the rating? We are deciding on the rating based on their behaviors. Correct? The rating is the output of your evaluation. So when your evaluation X did this and he didn't meet the expectation, the goals are there, didn't meet the expectation. So he's been rated as 2. Right? So
rating is there, right? There is a rating.
No, that's what I'm saying. Previously, you are going to rate because of this behavior didn't meet the expectation. Now, in this didn't meet the expectation, my focus is what expectation is not met. Okay, that situation, what happened in that situation? What did you do? So I did this or I didn't do that. Okay, how would you want to change this? That is a situation, behavior, impact, and change model. So this is a situation, this was my behavior, it has created an impact. Now this impact, is it a positive impact or a negative impact? If it is a positive impact, great, did a good job, you're a performer. You have brought in and you made the customer happy, and then he has signed this much contract. So good for the organization. You did the job well. So you have a performer there. Then the other person, no, that resulted in a delayed delivery. So there is a penalty to the organization. So what happened? Why penalty? Oh, maybe I am going through a personal situation. I'm going through, I didn't get proper skills. So addressing those skills as a challenges. And then that person is a low performer. So what are the development plans for the low performer? Why he is not able to meet the expectation? So when a low performer is there, let us put 1, 2, 3. These are the areas. By this time, you achieve this skill, this certification you need to do, or you need to get a coaching from this buddy person in your team. You will be monitored and your performance will become. Again, I will review in the next book. So that is how we differentiate.
And you also mentioned one thing that, salary increments are in the hands of managers and they decide.
Yeah.
Because somewhere, don't you think the subjectivity may come into the picture when it comes to manager? Because then
Then the HR
employees' behavior may fall into please the manager than the performance.
that is very much true, practical, the ground level reality. But then the role of a HR business partner becomes more important here. So how are you, when you, previously we used to have all generalists, we used to have all specialists in HR functions. Now we are calling as HR business partner. So that means you're partnering with the business. You are in and out aware of what is happening in the business. And when you are in and aware of the business, you're sitting with the business, you know this person, how the person is, whether the person is doing a right role, or a person is dipping, or is it a bias. See, still I would say, no ideal world, there will be lot of those biased people, because then you are doing your pulse survey to see whether this thing is done, or so managers are also, so it is more awareness to the managers and employees how you conduct this. So even HR business partner would know, is this person is continuously giving a high raises to this X person. What is happening? Is this real performer? Because as a HR business partner, I will know the resources whom I'm supporting. So probably, no, this person is really good. He's doing extra, he's going beyond, he's staying late, he's taking responsibility, ownership. So those evaluations are, those checkpoints are there where HR business partners are there. Even to the organization, it says discretionary, but at the same time, there is a budget in place. There is your department revenue is in place. So you need to get approvals from your top line up to the senior management. It's not just you decided and it will be given. Then you will be challenged by HR. Why and how much, and what impact, what is your benchmark? Is it industry benchmark? Is it your own benchmark? So a lot of challenge process goes through there. Okay, I think I have 3 minutes. Is it?
Yes.
I'm
Wonderful.
sorry, I think I come, some more slides are there. Quickly, shall I do, or we will just engage?
I think we can, because it's last 2 minutes almost, and if people have some questions, we can take some few questions here. I think that will be better.
Very interacting session for me also.
Renu, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anima this side. Thank you for the wonderful session and slides and your thoughts, experience. I just want to know one thing. As you know, biasness are still happening on the ground level and a lot of things in the organization, whether HR is opposing and challenging things. What is the employee prospect on this? Employees performing good, and even if after the good performance and exceeding expectation performance, sometime manager are not giving good rating due to some personal whatever you can say. I don't want to put that word, but yes, the challenge from the employee side. Can you just share your, experience or some light on that particular area? That is a gray area still. Even if HR is doing that, that they are not the right person to evaluate the exact, task what they are doing or what are the goals they have set at the beginning of the year. So how the employee is going to challenge that result or outcome or rating given by managers on the final decision?
Yeah, so you have these grievances coming up, right? Every time when once the appraisals are done, then you
Right, right.
have a line
Yes.
of meetings set up. Employee wants to talk to HR because
Correct,
so
correct.
sometimes it is perception of employees. Sometimes so it is fact finding exercise also that HR needs to do. What exactly happened? What is the through the interview that you would talk to them, understand why do they think that they have been rated low, and then they have substantial evidences in terms of okay, these are they can get you the data, and then you can challenge the manager. But many times it becomes a perception also because there is no communication between the manager and the employee. Ongoing we do put on the slides that it has to be ongoing communication. You should meet with your employees, but it doesn't happen on the floor. You really sometimes you need to police kind of put things, okay, who is not doing, go and check what happened, why this is not done. Sometimes you need to just politely mention how is it happening, are you meeting your team or not. So based on the situation with your employee, what is the concern, get into facts finding. See, perceptions should be killed. We cannot judge, we cannot give our opinions. We should go by facts. What is the fact, and whether it is employee at fault or a supervisor at fault, we as HR professionals facilitate, instead of blaming anybody, just facilitate them to become better, or say what is, understand both the parties. Just listening to employee, we most of the time we feel, a manager is like this only. No, sometimes we need to hear both sides based on that situation. I think we HR play a very, very important and critical role of any organization. So we have to be on toes, ears, eyes, everything open. We are no friends to anybody. We just focus on our deliverables. And our biggest interest should be organization interest.
Understand. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So if anyone is having more questions, I think we will wind up here.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everyone. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Renu. It was really an insightful session. Even I also got to know many things. Thank you so much, audience, for being the patient listeners. And we will end it up here. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Renu, for a wonderful, insightful session. Thanks, Atan.
Thank you. Thank you, Renu.
Thank you, Renu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna. Thank you, ProTouch.
Thank you. Thanks, Atan.